Hi, welcome to the show. I'm Ivory. I'm glad to have you here with me today. Today's topic is eating to enhance spirituality. Before I get into that, I want to say a hello to my listeners in Las Vegas, Nevada. You are now the #1 group of listeners in the world of my podcast. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. Let's jump into this topic. I often talk about the importance of raising your frequency. If you want to feel, see, hear your angels, and if you want to have increased intuitive ability, any spiritual gifts really, then you want to raise your frequency. And the reason is that human frequency is here. Angelic frequency is here. Archangel frequency is even higher. So we need to raise our frequency closer to that of angels to be able to feel, see, and hear them better, and maybe even at all. So if your frequency is low, and there's a lot of things that factor into that, then it's going to be a major barrier for you to overcome. And it's such a thing that you have all the control over, really, for the most part, like 90% of the control, that it's always a good place to begin your journey of raising your frequency. So our bodies are made up of mostly energy, like everything on the planet. Even the planet itself has a frequency. It's science. So our bodies are made up of energy. Then the foods and thoughts we intake hold a certain energy as well. So there are many ways to raise your frequency, but one of the categories is your diet, what you eat, drink, or don't eat and drink. So, and that includes what you put into your body, not just eat and drink. And I'll explain more about that. So food contains energy, and that means it holds a vibration. So you want to have a diet, and I don't mean be on a diet, but have a diet, which just means what you eat, what you fuel your body with. You want to have a high frequency diet. So if you eat nutrient poor, unbalanced, processed food, your energetic vibration will be drastically reduced. You will feel tired, maybe even a little sad or discouraged. The people you interact with will feel your low frequency energy, even if they don't know what it is. You will struggle to attract the things in your life you desire, including that connection with your angels. And over time, a high density will grow around you that's hard to break out of. So the sooner you do this, the better. But if, on the other hand, you choose nutrient-dense, balanced, fresh, colorful, vibrant foods like that behind me, it is a supercharge for your energetic frequency. You will feel alive, awake, in tune with the universe, and people around you will notice your glow. You find that you easily and effortlessly attract the things that you most desire, and that density evaporates. So ask yourself this: how do you feel after eating a bag of chips or fast food? Probably sluggish, dull, and bloated. And it makes sense because processed foods are very low in vibration and do nothing to provide your body with the adequate energy or vibration it needs to function at its optimal level, that it needs to function at a level that allows you to connect with your angels. How do you feel after eating a fresh salad or a meal of mostly vegetables? Vibrant, light, energetic. It makes sense because fresh, whole foods are very high in vibration and provide your body with energy and vibrancy. Healthy and high vibrations help to create and maintain that internal energy your body requires. It also helps your body heal and repair itself when it vibrates at a certain rate and frequency. So one of the easiest ways to increase the energetic intake of high vibrational foods is to prepare them with love. So home cooking in the company of a positive energetic space. I love to buy mostly fresh vegetables. I eat mostly organic fruits, vegetables, not so much fruit, because I am diabetic, and I eat very little meat, really. I'm fine with meat. I don't have anything against it. I've just always preferred vegetables. I like to put on music that just uplifts me and have adequate lighting in my kitchen and prepare a meal from scratch. And I have been consciously adding more salads to my diet. My business partner laughs because she was raised on the coast of California, and she was raised eating salads all year round. And for me, I grew up in Maryland and we ate salads in the summer. We always had a big garden. So I grew up eating fresh foods, and mom would send us out to pick vegetables, fruits out of the garden for dinner. But salads, not so much in the winter, but I've been consciously adding that into my diet, and it is helping. It's really good. Consider when you eat in a stressful mindset, you're likely to overeat and forget how much food you're consuming, or even care what you're eating as much. So you want to make your meal time a relaxed space where you sit and consciously are eating your meal, not doing something else while you're eating. So you want to be able to taste the flavors and smell the aroma, just enjoy the art of eating. Let's talk about some of the top foods for raising your vibration. Green leafy vegetables. I was just mentioning salad, and that's why I started adding it in even in the winter. Lettuces, kale, arugula, which I've recently developed a fondness for. Just all of a sudden, couldn't stand it. Now I crave it. Collard greens, chard, anything like that. Those kind of guys are bursting with high frequency energy. You're literally eating the energy of the sun. So you want to get as much of that in as many varieties as you can. Fresh and organic is best. But it's good to eat it at all. If you can't afford, I mean, groceries are astronomical now. I get it. What I tend to do is go twice a week, because I eat mostly fresh produce. So I go twice a week and buy less so I don't waste anything, because it's not good for the planet and it's not good for my budget. Number 2 is fresh berries. All fresh fruits are fabulous and they boost your vibration, but berries are really at the top of the list for a few reasons. They're low in sugar, which is great for people struggling with unbalanced blood sugar, which is a lot of people these days. They're also super high in antioxidants, which help boost your immune system and reduce inflammation. And they're finding now in the medical field is saying that so many illnesses and diseases are really based in inflammation. So anything we can do to combat that is good. Again, fresh and organic would be best, but not necessary. Number 3 is sprouts. Now, I'm not friends with sprouts. Sprouts don't like me. I'm allergic to them, but lots of people eat them. They love them. You can sprout almost any seed, bean, or grain. I used to do it in the 70s. I don't know. I think they were popular. I had a little, about this big around, maybe a foot across sprouter that you would put the seeds in and let them sprout. And we would have those. It's easy. It can be done right on your kitchen counter, and you can buy them at the grocery store too. They're super high in protein. Sprouts are up to 35% protein. That's amazing. Better than any protein bars. They're rich in enzymes, which help your body do all the amazing stuff your body needs to do. They also give beans, seeds, and grains an extra health boost by neutralizing the acid in those foods. So basically, the seed is Clark Kent and the sprouted seed is Superman for your body. Next is fresh herbs. Oh, a favorite of mine. I used to have a fresh herb garden with and it had a little fountain and pond. And that's pretty much the only thing I grew for a long time was fresh herbs, because I love cooking with them. Now I have them indoors because the weather is not so good in this location and the weather's gotten a bit nuts. But not only do fresh herbs make our food taste great, it boosts your enjoyment of it, the energetic vibration, but many of them have powerful healing benefits. For example, cilantro is an excellent detoxifier, and rosemary contains lots of great antioxidants. Where I live in central Arizona, rosemary grows so great. I have shrubs of it, and I have it because I use it for cooking. So it's one of my favorites. I also use it in the diffuser. Try different varieties of fresh herbs and include them in your meals whenever possible. One of my favorites is fresh basil. Oh, fantastic. That grows in many climates too, and pots real well. Number 5 is spices. For thousands of years, people have been using spices as a delicious way to raise the energetic vibration of food. Turmeric, cinnamon, ginger, garlic, and cayenne all contain powerful healing properties and help with everything from digestion to blood sugar balance and even arthritis. So some other high frequency herbs and spices that are going to lift your frequency up are basil, just talked about that, black pepper, a favorite of mine, bay leaf, cardamom, fennel, mint, mustard seed, nutmeg, oregano, paprika, and saffron. A whole lot to choose from. The next category that's going to lift your frequency and make it easier for you to connect with your angels is beans and legumes. I actually am lucky. I love beans. I cook a lot with dried beans and make all kinds of soups and stews. Beans and legumes are very high frequency foods because they're nutrient powerhouses. They contain lots of protein, carbohydrates, and fiber, as well as B vitamins and even iron. Nuts and seeds. Luckily, another one of my passions. My parents always tease me when they come to visit. They'll open my pantry and I have at least 15 kinds of nuts and seeds at all times. I love them. Raw, unsalted nuts and seeds also make the list of high vibration foods because not only are they a great source of protein and fiber, but they also contain healthy fats like omega-3s that your body, and particularly your brain, need to function properly. I think that they make a great snack, but also sometimes for me, when I'm in a hurry, they're my breakfast. Next is less popular, algae and fungi. Yes, I'm suggesting you eat algae. Don't be afraid. Blue-green algae like spirulina and chlorella are among the most nutrient-dense food on the planet, which make them super high vibration. You can buy these dried at the health food store and add them to smoothies, or if you don't care for the taste, you can get them in tablet form. There's a thing, my friend, local friend, turned me on to miso soup with fresh seaweed in it. And I just buy the seaweed at the health food store and it's soft in a package. And I chop it up and cook it in the miso. It is delicious. But another form of that you can look at is mushrooms, another one of my favorite foods. I very luckily am drawn to high frequency foods. I'm just very thankful for that too. But you can grow your own mushrooms. I have a friend who grows them in a closet in their house very successfully. And you can grow your own mushrooms and you can buy them at the store. You can buy them dried. I actually buy a lot dried because I don't want them to go to waste. So I can just throw them in and let them stew and kind of puff up again and give the flavor of the mushrooms. Next on the list is fermented foods. This has really gotten a lot of attention lately, to the point it's supposed to be so good for you. And my niece, who's building a farmhouse in the Phoenix area, she loves to cook everything from scratch, and they're putting in a huge garden. And so I've been getting into canning on my own. She's getting into that. We decided once her garden's going next summer, I'm going to bring my canning stuff to her house, and we're going to do some huge joint batches of fermented vegetables. Every day we're learning more and more about the importance of gut health. You've heard of leaky gut. It's a syndrome many people have and don't even know. I'm not going to get into the causes of that, but I will just say that something that's really good for that is fermented foods. So your digestive system is home to a whole ecosystem of bacteria, and some are good and some are bad. And if they overgrow, you have health issues. That could be things like allergies, eczema, joint pain, fibromyalgia, depression, and even cancer. Naturally fermented foods like sauerkraut, kimchi, and kombucha are teamed with the good bacteria you want and can help address imbalances. Here I'm lucky again. My father is of German origin. I grew up eating sauerkraut at all holiday meals, and not just holiday meals. Doesn't just go with turkey dinner. My mother would fix it for us because dad loved it. And all of us kids love sauerkraut. So whatever fermented food you like, but what my niece and I are looking at doing is fermenting individual vegetables to just eat like snacks, keep it on hand and just eat like snacks because it's so good for you. And it is very high frequency. So I am not a dietitian. I'm not pretending to be one or saying I am one. This is all about helping you connect with your angels. That's my mission. And one of the ways can be through your diet. Next on the list is teas. Well, my Irish grandmother gave me a love of teas, and I have a whole cupboard of them. It has many healing and health promoting properties. Green and white teas are full of power antioxidants to help support your immune system and fight inflammation. Herbal teas like chamomile, valerian, and passion flower, which is my favorite, are calming and can help you relax and sleep better. But all these kinds of teas, green and white teas and herbal teas, are high frequencies. So you're kind of, maybe you can alternate between coffee and tea, start segueing over a bit. The next is pure or filtered water. I really feel like this is top of the list. The water that you drink is so important. We are beings of mostly water, and the water that you put into your body can be high frequency or low frequency. I would not suggest drinking water out of a tap unless you live in a place with exceptional tap water. Most of it has things in it you really shouldn't be drinking. I don't believe buy bottled water because of the environmental aspects of that, but I have a water purifier and I use that. Another thing too, that just to be aware of, and maybe we'll just show about this, an episode about this sometime, is to use the power of the angels and light to put some elements into your water. I'll talk about that in another episode, how to do that. So any kind of filtered water is important. Try not to drink it out of plastic. Try to drink it out of glass or stainless steel so that you don't have toxins leaking into your water that would be detrimental to the point of having pure water. And drink a lot of water. You know, it's recommended to have, it used to be 32 ounces a day. I know I drink more than that. I think I drink at least double that. But I love water. And if I don't have access to it, I get freaky. I feel better when I have plenty of water in my system. And have you ever noticed that when you haven't had water for a while, you get thirsty and you take a drink? Do you feel it go through your whole body? I really do. Like, I feel it just coursing through my body, and my whole body feels like it's like, ah. So I know water is critical to us. Next would be the oils that you use. So some really high frequency ones are extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, almond oil, flaxseed, and ghee. They don't release carcinogens when heated, and they're all natural oils humans can easily digest into their body. Next is one you might like a lot, raw chocolate. Who doesn't like chocolate? So we're talking about those ceremonial grade cacao, and that's different from commercial chocolate. This is what I actually use in my smoothies. I mix it into yogurt. I buy it from a lady in Sedona. She used to be at a farmer's market, and that's where I met her. And then she opened a store in Sedona where she sells her chocolate. And she sells these little hard bits of the ceremonial grade cacao. There's no sweetener in it, but it's really good in yogurt with strawberries or other fruit. It's delicious. It's good in smoothies. You can use the cacao. I also have the cacao powder, which is really good. It's pure. There's no added milk fats or sugars, and it retains its healthy natural fats. So it's a host of powerful antioxidants that get lost in the heating and refining process that most chocolate undergoes. So it's more high frequency because it's in a pure state. Okay, you'll still get the bliss molecules that make chocolate uplifting. Next on the list is some other sweeteners: raw honey, maple syrup, and coconut sugar. I actually use coconut sugar for a lot of cooking. It's natural. It doesn't affect the glycemic index. It doesn't pull your frequency down like sugar does. It helps lift you up. Next is whole grains, and the good ones are buckwheat, rice, quinoa, and amaranth. And amaranth is an ancient grain. I actually love buckwheat hull. Have you ever had that? Those little buckwheat, so good. Next is natural supplements. It's important, you can't just if you buy the cheapest supplements, that's okay. But just understand your body is getting a lot of fillers and it's not pure. It could have a lot of ingredients in it you're not really wanting in your body. And most important, your body can only assimilate it if it's in certain forms. So look into that. And last on this list of things that you do want to add to your diet to help you experience your angels better and faster is raw dairy. It's hard to find. My niece I was talking about earlier told me she did find somebody in the rural area she's living in west of Phoenix. And it's difficult to find, but it's considered a healthier alternative and higher in vibration. Her girls love it. They were going on and on about it when I saw them recently. I want to talk about low vibrational foods. We mentioned a few, but there's a list here you need to be aware of. Anything that's GMO is low frequency. Anything that's been treated with chemicals and pesticides, which is why organic is the best, but I understand food is expensive, budgets are tough, people are having a hard time. Do the best you can. Grow your own if you can. Any artificial sugars and sweeteners are very low frequency. Any soda and high sugar fruit juices, sugar in general, alcohol, that's a big one. One of the first things I always tell people I'm working with when they're trying really hard to raise their frequency and maybe they're stuck and they can't quite raise it to the next level is you need to eliminate alcohol. Processed, packaged, and fast foods, they're all full of chemicals. Unhealthy oils like canola, which is rapeseed, is considered not to be eaten by humans, and margarine, which has a lot of plastic molecules in it. Deep fried and microwave foods, very low frequency. Any meat, especially low quality meats, if you can find meat sources that treat their animals well, that are grass-fed cows, high quality non-GMO feeds, organic practices, because what your animal eats affects you. The frequency your animal you're eating was at affects you. I'm not woo-woo, just so you know. Next is we talked about non-organic GMO foods. Coffee. If you're drinking coffee, try to find organic coffee. Coffee made from non-organic sources is very heavy with mold and pesticides. Decaf coffee should be avoided because it's decaffeinated with chemical processes. So, just some hints for you. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do everything. Artificial food colorings and dyes, we've known about that for a long time. They're not healthy, but it actually affects your frequency. Sodium nitrates, those are in things like hot dogs, bologna. BPA, sodium aluminum sulfates, processed sugar, one of the worst things. Fake anything, fake butter, fake meat, fake cheese, fake Miracle Whip. You want real, authentic, pure foods as much as you can. Dairy is low frequency. So I'm just going to say this again. In no way am I saying you need to make all these changes. You must eat all these foods and not eat those foods that are low frequency. I just bring things to your awareness and then you do what feels right for you. Maybe you make one change for now. And then later, once that's incorporated into your regular diet, then you make another change. Maybe you eliminate one thing and let yourself adjust to that. I have found over decades that I've just naturally gravitated towards this high frequency diet. And I believe that happens for many of us who are on a spiritual path because we're listening to our bodies, we're listening to our higher self, our soul, we're listening to our angels and guides, even when we don't know we are. And so over time, like I eliminated sugar completely, and I eliminated most of salt. I eliminated processed foods, and then I became chemically sensitive. And that helped a lot because there's just a whole lot of things I can't have. My body, I have allergic reaction. I need to live in a plastic bubble somewhere, but I'm stubborn. So here I am. But we all have our challenges, and you can go by just what you're led to do. You don't have to make any of these changes, but at least you have a lot of control over your frequency. And if you're frustrated that you're not seeing, hearing, feeling your angels, this is a way you can get to that point. You can bring some of those barriers down in your body. So you can be led there intuitively. You can make a conscious decision to make these changes. But any change that you make toward adding high frequency and eliminating low frequency foods from your diet are going to make a difference for you. So take it at the pace that feels right for you. This is a great place to begin if you want to expand your spiritual gifts to the highest level possible. If you do want to connect with your angels, if you do want to receive the maximum guidance from them, I, over the years, have just tried everything I can that's in my power to raise my frequency. And then the trick is to keep it there, which is not so easy in our crazy world, is it? But we can do it. It just takes conscious effort. So thank you for tuning in. I hope that you found some useful information from this. Next Sunday, I have a special guest. Her name's Ayrin Estis, and she owns a company called Urban Medicine Woman. I've known Ayrin for years. She's amazing. She's quite the healer. And we're going to be talking about self-love, coming to a place where you can learn to love yourself wholly. And I thought that would be a great topic for the show closest to Valentine's Day. So in the meantime, may your angels surround you. May your angels protect you every moment, every day of your life. I'll see you next week.